US reciprocal tariffs are likely to hit India and other nations on the 2nd of April. Ahead of that, Assistant US Trade Representative Brendan Lynch is visiting India along with a team of US officials to have a series of meetings with Indian interlocutors to negotiate the bilateral trade agreement. While the US government says it is committed to advancing a productive and balanced trade relationship with India, they are also threatening India with high tariffs across the board. According to a Wall Street Journal report, the US administration's reciprocal tariff action could be more targeted against 15 nations with whom the United States has the highest trade deficit. The report says that the US government is now focusing on applying tariffs to 15% of the nations with persistent trade imbalances with the US. US trade deficit is highest with China at $270 billion and US trade deficit with India is at $42 billion and is 11th on the list of nations with whom the US has a trade deficit. This means India could potentially be among a group of nations which could face higher tariffs and be hit harder after the 2nd of April 2025. Experts tell us that US is most likely to impose one average high rate on all Indian imports into the US. They add that it would be virtually impossible for America to impose high tariffs sector by sector, and therefore there will be one or at the most two rates across Indian product lines, just the way it has happened with Canada, Mexico and China. Indian trade and economics think tank GTRI has recommended that India should offer zero duty on 90% of US industrial goods. When it comes to reciprocal tariffs, India will not be the only target, and higher tariffs will be for all nations. Former Indian trade negotiators believe higher US tariffs could also be an opportunity for India to export more. Responding to Assistant USTR's India visit, the Ministry of Commerce has said that the Indian government was looking at closer supply chain integration and a mutually beneficial trade deal with the US. It is important to note that top rating agencies have said that America's tariff-for-tariff policy will have a limited impact on India. S&P has said that India's exports to US account for just 2.3% of its GDP. Fitch has said India's low reliance on external demand and high business confidence will ensure the situation doesn't become troublesome. Moody's has said that sectors like automotive, steel, chemicals, business services have the highest exposure due to US tariff strategy. But most large listed entities in India will be able to withstand any impact due to a strong diversification strategy and significant domestic operations.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.